Hello, good afternoon. My name is Moeko Saito Jensen. I'm the project manager of UNDP Philippines. They're managing the EU-funded Green Economy Partnership with the Philippine Green LGU project. So I'm honored to be here. I hear so many sustainabilities on the term. And the hospitality sector is also one of the key sectors we are looking at. And we are working with we are going to work with 60 LGUs. And then green tourism has been identified one of the priority areas. So we would like to also seek your insights and expertise and how we can create a sustainable green future together. So Anthropocene, I'm not sure if you have heard of this word. So this means that, so in 2016, the group of scientists concluded that we enter a new epoch where humans have a significant influence on the planet. Compared to vice versa. And we are also talking about the triple planetary crisis. We are all experiencing climate change, biodiversity loss, pollution, and waste across the world. So why this is happening? So this is the picture from Life magazine taken in 1955. That this is a celebration of slow away living. Now we can throw away things. We have a very convenient life. This really changed our relationship with materials and resources. So this is the global extraction of natural resources. Compared to 1970s, our resource extraction increased more than 3 times, now reaching 100 billion metric tons. So in order to tackle the triple planetary crisis, the last year, the United Nations Environmental Program released a report, Bend the Trend. We really need to rethink the way we use resources and energy. And then there was an emphasis that we need to transition from linear economy to circular economy. So under linear economy, where we are, the resources are extracted and produced into products and then consumed and thrown away. So that has a massive impact on our planet, and then they're generating a lot of waste and pollution. So can we think about this? Like, can we close this, the loop, that's the value chain? So instead of the releasing all the waste and resources, energy away from our system, can we close the value chain so that the product can be used as long as possible, can be recycled, energy efficiency is improved, resource efficiency improved, so that the minimal environmental impacts on our planet. But the benefits of green and circular economy go beyond environmental. So it also brings economic benefits. If efficiency in materials and energy also improves, that means the less cost for production. So that also means that the business competitiveness. And also moving to circular economy will create a new economic value and employment opportunities. According to ILO, this shift may bring 7 to 8 million new jobs. And when it comes to also tourism sector, the more and more tourists are interested in sustainability practices. So this also that bringing sustainabilities means more economic opportunities for the tourism sector. So now in Europe, there is also a strong movement for circular economy. In 2020, the European Union, the member states, signed a declaration for the EU Green Deal to make all member states to be carbon neutral by 2050. And circular economy has been one of the key pillars for this Green Deal. And then the EU countries, circular city declarations are signed by more than 80 cities to accelerate the transition. And this started with waste management, but they also realized the waste continue to increase. So waste avoidance, so redesigning the product system is also very important. So Asia Pacific region, also we start to see circular economy trend. I also want to emphasize how significant this region is. That this region hosts 60% of the world population, 4.3 billion people, with more than 50% of the world consumption. So if this region becomes circular, that benefits can be more than the significant. And I was also talking with many country colleagues on how circular economies have been implemented. The Philippines is one of the leading countries in promoting circular economy. I moved from Cambodia to Philippines last year. In Cambodia, I really have to advocate for circular economy. In the Philippines, circular economy is already here. It's more about how to accelerate circular economy transition. So there's a lot of opportunities in the Philippines. But Philippines is also experiencing the economies and also growing generation of waste. You see that's the going up trend. That this also results in the increasing level of pollution and greenhouse gas emissions. So also the government of Philippines recognized green circular economy as a way for sustainability. And 10-hour studies they recognize one of the key strategies on the circular economy. So there is a waste hierarchy. As you see, avoidance of waste is the most important. We need to really redesign economic system, business model to avoid waste. Then reduce and reuse and recycle should come later. So in this context, the European Union funded the Green Economy Program in the Philippines to promote Philippine transition for circular economy. This is a total of euro 60 million grant from EU and led by Department of Environment and Natural Resources. And there are 4 components. The first component is looking at the national circular economy strategy. The second component is enhancing the LGU and stakeholders for green economy transition. The third component is looking at private sector and financing. The fourth component is looking at energy efficiency and renewable energy. And we are at the second component, working with LGUs. I hope that everybody knows the LGUs, the cities and municipalities. So this project launched last year, and it will run until August 31, 2028. So last year, we started to work with a Tier 1 LGU for core support. So 10 LGUs are selected as a pilot, as you see in the picture. And then Tier 2 LGUs for more the best practice replications and knowledge sharing. And key targets, so we understand the combination of efforts are needed for circular economy transition. First is enabling policy regulation. The second is the financing aspect. The third is improved capacity knowledge for circular economy. And then fourth is inclusive circular economy models and enhance behaviors and practices. So together we aim to reduce and divert waste, focusing on plastic organics and green job creation and the greenhouse gas emission reduction. So last year and this year, so we went to the first 10 pilot the LGUs and asked, what are your priorities? What kind of the issues you face? So these 3 areas came up as the priority area. The first, all 10 LGUs said tackling plastic pollution is a priority. And then around 6 LGUs mentioned circular agriculture food systems a priority. And then around 5 LGUs mentioned promoting green tourism is a priority for them. So we have a Baguio City, Pasig, Quezon, Calaucan, and see Iloilo, Ormoc, Puerto Princesa, Davao, and Samar, Del Carmen. And you can see the bag, that is the mark of tourism. They identify tourism as a way for sustainability and circularity. So as you see also, tourism sector contributes significantly to the economy. And again, also want to emphasize that the tourism sector also contributes to waste generation. They rely on massive the volume of the food and beverage products, and then also the way also operate can be also resource the conscious as well. So then we are also discussing with LGU, which identify as a tourism as a green tourism as a priority. What can be done? These are the initial stakeholders that they also identify. For example, airports, airline, cruise ships, hotels and restaurants, tour operators, international domestic tourists and residents, and what kind of circular economy action can be promoted. And common tools are used for green tourism. So they are now developing the strategy how to promote green tourism. So they are looking at what kind of instrument they can use. The first is green policy regulation. The second is awareness raising and IEC materials and green awards and certifications. So this is an example. For example, Boracay introduced regulations on the ban on single-use plastic, which quite effective. I saw on the no single-use plastic in Boracay. So this is one of the hard measures that the LGU could potentially use. And in order for the regulation to be effective, and also Boracay emphasized, it is very important to raise awareness why this regulation is needed to change their behaviors. So awareness raising campaign is also used. And then also information about how to implement measures is very important. This is an example from Cambodia. So we also created a very simple manual that can be implemented easily. 9 steps to avoid and reduce plastic. And also we emphasize the economic saving and benefits by implementing these measures. We also compile before, like in other countries, like what kind of the best practice we can share with other hospitality sector. One is, so this is also like the example from one hotels, and that also had the certifications in Cambodia. So they also share knowledge how it can be implemented in other countries and the region. So they're emphasizing building green team and developing the green procurement plan, and also looking at the energy, how energy system can be efficient or can be also using the renewable energy. And hotel rooms, also quick actions, how to reduce the single-use items and also energy efficiency measures. And the restaurants, also the restaurants are they're also major places that generating a lot of organic waste. So how to design sustainable items and create less waste, remove plastic items, kitchen waste for organic the waste, and the waste management system. So the hospitality sector also need to look at how to use resources and manage waste, and education. So when we are talking about hospitality sectors, the conversation we had is it's actually need to start with the employers first, the employees first. They may not understand why we need to suddenly sort waste, why they need to like switch off light. So start with waste management education internally, and then also they are the one also communicating with their customers and their partners. And another one is green hours and certification. This was also talking about the last session. So certification also very important to motivate the business actor to go higher standards, but also ours to recognize the best practices. So these are the possible actions for LGU and tourism sector that we are talking about, how we can combine different instruments to accelerate the transition to circular economy. So these are the efforts that we are doing now. So this is our journey towards the green and circular futures. And again, I'm very honored to be here because I see there are already many players practicing this. And we are also looking for the very good practices that can be shared. LGUs are always asking, what can be done? Do you have any good example? So if you have any good examples and materials that we can share with LGU and their partners in their region, that would be much appreciated. So thank you so much for listening.